What's up guys, Hotshotfrontier back at it again with another video. And in this video guys, I'm excited to show you my updated BLACKWING deck profile for September 2023 after the ban list. I'm so excited to show you guys this. I am a huge BLACKWING fan. BLACKWINGs are my favorite deck in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So for them to have the Crimson Dragon support out of Duelist Nexus, it's a dream come true. Plus, this deck can now Calamity Lock your opponent, which is absolutely insane. Now, I do have to say that the last time I did a deck profile, you guys blew that video up where I actually made a combo video for that deck profile a few months back. So if you guys want to see a combo video for this deck, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and comment down below and let me know, how do you like this build? Would you play it this way or would you change some things? So let me know down below. But let's go ahead and get right into the deck profile. Starting off, we have of course the 3 Sudri, we have the 3 Vada, 3 Shamal, and of course the 1 Chinook. So you guys know the ones on the top, these 9 are mandatory 3-ofs. You have to play 9 in the deck for any BLACKWING deck, to be honest, because this searches you any of these cards, plus the trap or the continuous spell card, which is very important. It also has a second effect where I've actually been utilizing a lot more than I used to do, but this card can tribute a BLACKWING monster, including itself, spell summon a token that's a level 2, and it's actually a tuner, which is very important too, because the more level 2 tuners you have in this deck, it's very important for the combo. Now, Vada is a very cool card because this can turbo summon out Black-Winged Dragon by itself, which is pretty cool, and it can special summon itself once if you control a Black-Winged monster. Shamal, if you have it in hand or field, can be sent to the graveyard and go ahead and place the Black Whirlwind, which is a continuous spell card. I'll go into it if you guys don't know, but it has a second effect engrave where you can banish it, target a Blackwing monster, and spin it back to your hand. And I decided to play 1 copy of Chinook. It's an impermanence in hand, which is pretty cool, but you'll see that level 2 non-tuner monsters are actually pretty important in this deck as well, but I'll explain later as we go on with the rest of the deck. And of course, we're going to move on and go into our next set of cards. Next up, we're playing 3 Simoon the Poison Wind. So something you have to make note is that if you're going for the Calamity Lock, which is plan A, you cannot play this card because this card locks you into dark monsters only, and unfortunately you have synchro monsters in your extra deck that are actually non-dark that you need to go into the combo. But plan B is that if you cannot do the Calamity Lock, if your opponent, stops you in some way, or you just don't have the cards in hand to get there, and you have Simoon, you can go Simoon and go for plan B, which is still to have a very oppressive board. We play all synchro monsters in our extra deck, so we have a lot of options. So it's all right if you cannot do the Calamity Lock, because this deck is amazing either way. For this build, I play 2 Hamats in the Dust. This card's actually kind of insane. I usually played it at 1 with my other build, but for the Calamity Lock build, I actually played 2 because we don't have many non-level 2 tuner monsters in our deck. We have these 2, and of course we have the Chinook, and it's very important because with the Vada, you can go ahead and turbo out the Black-Winged Dragon, including this card. So that counts as 2, you still need 6, and you choose one of these to go to 4, and then you can go ahead and use a Sudri, or preferably Zephros if you don't draw it, which is really nice to have those cards engraved. But yeah, these cards are really good because Hamat in the Dust as well can modulate his level, increasing it, which is pretty good in certain situations. So I would definitely play 2. Going into the final BLACKWING one-off cards, we have Zephros the Elite, Shangra the Waning Moon, Orochi the Squall, and finally Gale the Whirlwind. So Zephros is really good, you guys know. You can bounce back a face-up card on the field, and if you do that, you can go ahead and special summon this card. And you take 400. You can only do it once per duel, but it's really good because you can actually bounce back the continuous spell, the Whirlwind, and activate it again, because those are once per card effects, not once per turn effects, which is really nice. Your Shangra the Waning Moon, if you control a monster with 2000 or more attack that's on the field, even if your opponent has it, you can summon this. It's a good level 2 tuner, like I stated, and if it's an engraved, you can pop something. So something like a Floodgate, like Skill Drain. This can out Skill Drain, which is pretty interesting. And now going into Orochi, this is for plan B, because you can actually make the hot red Archfiend monster that can target a face-up card on the field and negate it. So it's good against like Dark Ruler or more. But for plan A, it's actually pretty good because if you have this in hand and Sudri, you can actually activate Sudri's second effect to go ahead and tribute it and summon it a level 2 token tuner monster, which is very nice, like I said before. And finally, we have Gale. Now, Gale we actually don't use in terms of synchro summoning. What we actually do with this, it's a good bridge card for a certain spell card we have in our deck, but I'll get into that as we go further in the combo. So let's go ahead and get into the next one, and that is, next up we play 2 Assault Synchron. This card is actually pretty insane for a tuner monster that's a level 2, and all you have to do is take 700 damage and you can summon it for free during the main phase. And this card's kind of insane because it's a good bridge card, which again I'll explain very soon. And the second effect, which kind of rarely comes up but it's good to know, is that if a dragon type synchro monster is either tributed or banished, you can actually target one of those monsters and special summon it back. So it's good to know the effect of that. But this actually kind of ended up saving me because there was one game where I actually had the Simoon, I had this card, and I had 2 Black Whirlwinds. And what I did was I actually had to use the Black Whirlwinds. I special summoned this card by the effect, and I just tribute summoned, like actual tribute summon to summon this. So I actually didn't commit to plan B, and I was actually able to go all the way from plan A and Calamity Lock, which is kind of crazy. But again, this deck is amazing in terms of what combos it can do. Now for some interruption cards, we play 3 Bestial cards, 1 Magnemute, and of course the 2 Drius Worm, and we're playing 3 Ash Blossoms. So Ash Blossom has another utility, which I'm going to show you guys very soon, just like I said with the Assault Synchrons, but I wouldn't change the ratio of this. I think everything kind of fit perfectly in this deck. For the spells, we're running 3 Black Whirlwind. This card's absolutely insane, and of course you need to run it at 3, it's mandatory. Some people can run at 2 if you're running multiple engines, but I think if you can definitely afford to have it at 3. Moving on, we have the Black Feather Whirlwind. I used to run it at 1, but the second one's actually very useful. Now for these cards, you open with any of them, you're doing very well in the combo, but you can also search stuff. You cannot search this, unfortunately. The Black Feather Whirlwind's really nice because you can summon monsters from your graveyard or your banished section back to your field if you synchro summon a dark synchro monster. And it's really cool because you can place it with the Shamal, and the second one you actually search with Sudri if you didn't draw into it. Now we're playing the one-off Synchro World. So this card's pretty cool because as long as you keep synchro summoning, you actually add counters to this, and you can have different effects based on the number of counters you have. So with 4, you can go ahead and increase or decrease the level of one face-up monster you control by 1. 7, special summon 1 tuner from your graveyard, which is really nice. And 10, special summon a synchro monster from your graveyard. So if you draw into this starting hand, really good, but this is actually searchable off of Crimson Dragon later in the combo. So just so you know. And then going into the rest of our spells, these spells actually help the consistency of our deck so much. I'm glad that we have them. Pot of Prosperity is an absolutely amazing card. I'm happy this did not get hit on the ban list at all. And of course we have Small World. So when I stated bridging, that's what I meant, because this card's absolutely insane. If you don't have the cards that you started with and you're trying to get into like a Sudri, you didn't draw into Sudri, this can help bridge into it. So like for a good example, let's say we want to go plan A with the Calamity Lock, but you drew into Simoon. As long as you have a Small World in hand, you reveal this card, find a card like Drius Worm because they share the same attribute, that's fine, and then go ahead and add your Shamal. Let's say you want to go ahead and add Shamal to hand. So add Shamal to hand, all you have to do is basically banish this face down. I wish it said face up so you can have more interactions with your deck, but it's alright because still this card's absolutely insane. Just to show you guys one more example, we have something like Ash Blossom Joy Spring, right? This can actually bridge itself to Sudri. You might be saying why, because they're the same levels, attributes, or types. But it's okay because we can go ahead and activate the Small World when we have Ash in hand and bridge itself from Gale to actual Sudri because they're both the same level. So see, combos like that are very insane in this deck, and can actually help you even get into stuff like Assault Synchron if you want. So it's pretty cool to have like bridge type cards. Purely Gale is like a bridge card. I wouldn't use it in the combo itself, but you never know later down the line what could happen. The last card we're playing to round the deck up to 40 is the Twin Shadow. This card's really cool because if you control 2 BLACKWING monsters, you can activate this card from your hand, and what it does is you can basically shuffle cards from your banished and or graveyard to the deck to synchro summon, which is nice. Another thing you can do with this card is that if you set it on your opponent's turn, if they do Dark Will no more, because you can't target, of course, with monster effects, you can go ahead and Chainlink 2, activate this card, Chainlink 3, activate Hot Red Archfiend to negate that card. So it's another cool benefit of this card. But guys, that's it for the main deck. We're going straight into the extra deck. Moving on to the extra deck, we're of course playing an all synchro based extra deck. I think Chloe would be very proud of us. We're playing 1 Starlight, 1 Wicked Wind, 1 Rain Shower. So these 2 are very good because this can give us an extra normal summon and burn our opponent for 800 when it's special summoned, so not just when it's synchro summoned. And this is really nice because it's a level 6 tuner synchro monster When it's summoned, you can go ahead and send something, a Blackwing monster from your deck to grave, and it will become that level. Most of the time though, I keep it at level 6. And this is good because with the trap card Twin Shadow, you summon this off and pop some cards your opponent controls. It becomes a tuner, which is not too relevant, but you never know. Plus, you can actually summon this yourself if you want with level 4 and 3 if you get into that situation on your turn. Moving on, we have the Black-Winged Dragon, of course, necessary for the deck. I mean, the Ghost Rare isn't too necessary, but hey, you just need a copy of this, definitely. So of course, going on to the next one, we have a Synchro Stardust Dragon. This is nice because it can resurrect a level 2 tuner monster from your graveyard to the field. And it has a second effect where if you're trying to dodge like impermanent or effect failure on this card, you can go ahead and chain it to chain link 2 and summon out your Stardust Dragon, which is really nice for the deck. Now, as we go throughout the extra deck, I'll show you at the end what my Pot of Prosperity targets are, because I go for 6, I don't usually go for 3, and I'll show you guys why. So moving on, we have our 9, which is the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss that I was talking to you guys about to out the Dark Rule No More, if that's for plan B. We have the Draco Berserker, of course, of the Tenyi, which is nice because it's a level 8. You can go with 2 4s if you get into that type of combo, and it's good in the battle, destroying opponent's monsters and gaining attack. Next, we have the Baron de Fleur, which is really nice, of course. It's a level 10 Omni Negate. We have another level 10 Full Armor Master, really nice to go into as well. We have a Dispater. This card can actually revive a light or dark banished from your banish zone and summon it on field. It can extend the combo, and then it has an effect where it can actually negate a monster effect. Moving on, we have the Black-Winged Assault Dragon. Of course, amazing support that came out of Darkwing Blast. You can actually burn your opponent for 700 each time, which is really nice. And going on to it, we have the Onimaru, the Divine Thunder, a card that I would have never thought to add to my deck, but this card's absolutely insane because this is our target for the Crimson Dragon. We have the Hot Red, of course, King Calamity for the lock. And finally, we have Crimson Dragon himself, finally personified from the 5Ds anime into a Blackwing deck. Unbelievable. 2023 Yu-Gi-Oh! Is crazy, but like I said, the Onimaru is for the Crimson Dragon, so on your opponent's turn, the draw phase, you can go straight and Calamity Lock them. But guys, that's the extra deck. Let me know if you like these choices. What would you guys choose as well? Let me know down below in the comment section. We're going to move on to the side deck. For the side deck, we're of course playing 3 Droll and Lockbird, a really good card for the meta. Now the meta is changing, of course, post BANLIST, and Unchained is becoming more popular, so this card isn't as good, but against everything else like Vanadium, very good to have. We have the 1 Baldrake because, of course, I want to play more Bestial cards. You could switch this out with the 3rd Dreasworm if you want, but I thought this would be a nice add-in. We have 2 Radiant Kaijus because Kaijus are always nice to have, especially against something like Pearly. But of course, you can switch these out for cards that you feel that are better. Moving on, we have the Dark Ruler No Mores because you guys know we got to break boards and make our own board. 2 Lightning Storm with the Harpy's Feather Duster because we do not like Labyrinth and other trap-based decks, and we need to get rid of that so we can continue our combos. And finally, guys, we play 3 Evenly Matched. So a lot of things in here are very standard. I feel like are pretty balanced in terms of the meta, but you really need to switch your side deck into what you're facing, especially if you're going to like locals or regionals. What are you going to see more? Kind of prepare for the meta in general, the best way you can. But guys, that's it for the side deck and the rest of the deck profile. If you guys liked this video and you want to see a combo video, remember to go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know down below how you liked the deck profile. I'm curious to hear all of your thoughts about it. But guys, that's it for me. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.